Alaáfin of Oyo at the Sango Stone Monument in Brazil, a global reaffirmation of Oyo as the heart of Yoruba civilization. This is written by Engineer Adewuyi Ohe, a licensed civil engineer and chartered project manager. The reception accorded to His Imperial Majesty Oba Akeem Abimbola Owoade I, the Alaafin of Oyo, and his distinguished entourage comprising traditional rulers, professors, historians, cultural scholars, and dignitaries from Nigeria, Brazil, and other African countries at the historic Sango Stone Monument in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil, represent an important moment in the continued international appreciation of Yoruba civilization and its historical foundations.
As I'm here tonight, I feel really happy seeing the way you are doing.
Em estar aqui essa noite, me sinto muito feliz em ver o que vocês estão fazendo.
I have to tell you, emphasis on culture, you lay emphasis on tradition, heritage, and everything.
Eu aprendi sobre a cultura e as tradições e o patrimônio de vocês, a ancestralidade de vocês.
And I must tell you, I'm really proud of you.
E preciso dizer que estou extremamente orgulhoso de vocês.
Salvador da Bahia occupies a unique place in the history of the African diaspora. Following the transatlantic slave trade, it became one of the principal centers where Yoruba descendants preserved their ancestral language, religious traditions, music, festivals, and systems of kingship. The survival of these cultural elements over several centuries has made Bahia one of the most significant repositories of Yoruba heritage outside Africa.
A ler mais sobre o Brasil.
Then I found out a lot of things about Brazil.
E descobri várias coisas sobre o país.
I noticed that you people lay emphasis on culture, you lay emphasis on tradition.
Within this historical context, the reception of the Alaafin at the Sango Stone Monument carries profound symbolic significance. Sango, the great powerful emperor Alaafin of Oyo, occupies a central place in Yoruba history as both an historical ruler and a cultural icon whose legacy has transcended national boundaries.
In Saudi, is a reference point for the Muslim world.
Meca, na Arábia Saudita, é lugar de referência para uma religião.
And what
que é o
I can
Islã.
see tonight,
E o que eu posso ver hoje à noite,
I can see that the Sango Stone is going to definitely be a reference point for all the Brazilians to worship.
o que eu percebo hoje à noite é que a Pedra de Xangô é esse lugar de referência para todos os brasileiros no culto a Xangô.
His veneration in Brazil through Afro-Brazilian religious traditions illustrates the remarkable continuity of Yoruba spiritual and cultural identity despite the geographical separation of the diaspora from their ancestral homeland. These performances serve as living evidence of the resilience of Yoruba cultural expressions, confirming that cultural identity can endure across centuries and continents.
Anything that Xangô finare da otaloju mojo
These performances serve as living evidence of the resilience of Yoruba cultural expressions, confirming that cultural identity can endure across centuries and continents. They also illustrate how intangible cultural heritage continues to strengthen relationships between ancestral communities in Nigeria and descendants of the Yoruba diaspora. Equally significant were the cultural performances in which members of the Brazilian Yoruba community and the Alaafin delegation participated through traditional music and dance. The presence of eminent scholars, historians, and traditional rulers from Nigeria, Brazil, and Africa further demonstrates that the occasion was not merely ceremonial, but also an intellectual and cultural engagement centered on preserving and advancing the historical understanding of the ancient Oyo Empire. Such collaborations contribute meaningfully to ongoing research on Yoruba civilization and encourage stronger academic and cultural exchanges between Africa and the diaspora. The international attention accorded to Oyo in recent years reflects a broader recognition of its historical role as one of the foremost political and cultural intellectual centers of Yoruba civilization. The ancient Oyo Empire developed sophisticated institutions of governance, diplomacy, military organization, commerce, religion, and artistic expression that profoundly influenced the history of Yoruba land and neighboring regions. Its enduring legacy remains visible in traditional institutions, cultural practices, and historical memories preserved throughout West Africa and across the Atlantic world.
As mulheres que quiserem vir cumprimentar o Alaafin, pode vir.
Podem vir juntos, não tem problema.
Não,
Aqui, vamos mais rápido. Tirem o filar.
façam como fazem no Brasil, tá bem?
Não tem problema.
Consequently, the reception of the Alaáfin of Oyo in Salvador da Bahia should be understood as more than a diplomatic or cultural event. It represents the reaffirmation of enduring historical connections between the ancient Oyo Empire and Yoruba descendants throughout the diaspora. It also highlights the importance of continued scholarly research, cultural preservation, and international cooperation in safeguarding the heritage of one of Africa's most influential civilizations.
Mais alguém?
As the global appreciation of Yoruba history continues to expand, events such as these strengthen the collective responsibility of scholars, traditional institutions, governments, and cultural organizations to preserve and transmit this invaluable heritage to future generations. The cultural bridge between Oyo and Bahia remains a powerful testament to the resilience, continuity, and global significance of Yoruba civilization.
Xangô Finare Oyo Mojo fún Oke fún Kábíyèsí.
This is written by Engineer Adewi Ohe, Charter Project Manager, and voiced over by Prince Lashley Oladigulu. Broadcast Manager at ABJJ International Consulting Limited. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.
Anything that
Oyo Empire civilization attains global recognition. The Alaafin's historic visit to Bahia, Brazil, and the international celebration of Yoruba cultural heritage. This Salvador da Bahia, Brazil, hosting an important
Mas alguém... Okay.
contribution to Yoruba history and world cultural heritage.
Mulheres possam vir em conjunto.
The event themed Oyo, a city of Yoruba cultural heritage, brought together government officials, traditional rulers, renowned scholars, cultural ambassadors, and practitioners from Nigeria and Brazil in a collective effort to celebrate the profound historical relationship between Oyo and the Afro-Brazilian world. The conference also highlighted ongoing international efforts towards the recognition of UNESCO's heritage preservation objectives. The official participation of His Imperial Majesty over Abimbola Akeem Owoade, the Alaáfin of Oyo, underscored the continuing importance of the Alaafin institutions as the custodian of the political, cultural, and spiritual heritage. The Alaafin of Oyo underscored the continuing importance of the Alaafin institutions as the custodian of the political, cultural, and spiritual heritage of the historic Oyo Empire.
You know why you're touching? Because here they go on.
Let's bring it to you. His Imperial Majesty Iku Babayeye Oba Abimbola Akeem Owoade the First, the Alaafin of Oyo, departing Lagos aboard a royal class aircraft for Sao Paulo, Brazil, on an official visit ahead of the launch of the landmark book on Oyo Alaafin as the center of a world civilization, the Yoruba civilization. Accompanying the Kabiyesi are Ono Onibode of Igboho, the Oba Oloro of Oro, Sabi Igono of Igono, Prince Akeem Owoade, Agba Akeem of Oyo. We also have the team who have already waiting the arrival of the Majesty. They are Ayaba Abiwumi Owoade, Alhaji Adebisi, Chief of Staff to the Alaafin, Yinka Gunaike, Prince Adetola Owoade, Prince Akade Owoade, among others. The enduring legacy continues as your history and heritage are celebrated in the world stage. Let's continue to give you the details of what happened in Bahia, Brazil. Are the host of the International Conference of Oyo, the City of Yoruba Cultural Heritage, are here receiving the advanced team of His Imperial Majesty Iku Babayeye, the custodian of Yoruba socio-cultural heritage and paramount head of Yoruba Kingdom, Oba Akeem Abimbola Owoade I, the Alaafin of Oyo. The cultural ambassador to His Imperial Majesty Alaafin Dr. Mrs. Paula Gomez is here seen here introducing the members of the advanced team of Alaafin to the Brazilian officials, while expecting the conference venue ahead of the arrival of His Imperial Majesty. Let's have a look.
Renata Barcelos, foi iniciada em Emajá, em Oyo, e faz parte da comunidade em Emajá, em Oyo, e faz parte da comunidade, são professores também da Laçu, ele também fala português, estudou em Portugal.
E o Brasil?
E Brasil. É o senhor Fagundes também, é o professor Tayon, que fala português.
Among the distinguished personalities featured in the conference program were Barrister Hannatu Musa Musawa, Nigeria's Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, Margaret Menes, Brazil's Minister of Culture, His Imperial Majesty Oba Abimbola Akeem Owoade, the Alaáfin of Oyo, Professor Fabio Velamin of the Federal University of Bahia, Dr. Paula Gomez, Cultural Ambassador to the Alaafin of Oyo, Dr. Oluwatoyin Zainab Shogbeson of Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo, Professor Adejumo Titus Olatunji of the University of Lagos, Baba Adisa of Asa Orisa Alaafin of Oyo. While special honor was accorded to the enduring legacies of the late Alaafin Lamidi Olayiwola Adeyemi III and the late Sango Ibuowo. The conference is being organized through the collaboration of the Federal University of Bahia, Brazilian and Nigerian academic institutions, research organizations, and cultural associations devoted to African and Afro-Brazilian studies. Bahia remains one of the most important centers of Yoruba cultural continuity outside Africa, where traditions rooted in the old Oyo Empire continue to thrive through religion, language, festivals, music, and indigenous customs.
É o senhor Fagundes também, é o professor Tayon, que fala português.
This historic gathering demonstrates the far-reaching influence of Oyo civilization across the Atlantic and provides further scholarly support for the historical role of the Oyo Empire as the principal center of Yoruba civilization, political organization, governance, language, culture, and traditional institutions. The conference equally reflects the growing international appreciation of Oyo's outstanding universal value and its relevance to global cultural history. One of the important events is the book launch, which is a compilation of academic studies and theses. Oyo, as a principal city of Yoruba civilization, written both in Portuguese and English languages. The of Oyo as a city of Yoruba cultural heritage represents not only a source of pride for the people of Oyo, but also for the entire Yoruba race and Nigeria as a whole. It further strengthens ongoing efforts to preserve, document, and promote the tangible and intangible heritage of the Yoruba civilization for future generations.
Professor Adejumo, forma Unilag,
As the historic milestone is celebrated, congratulations are due to the sons and daughters of Oyo, the global Yoruba community, and all Nigerians whose rich cultural heritage continues to gain international recognition and scholarly appreciation. This discourse on the book Oyo as its principal center of civilization of Yoruba is ongoing in Brazil as this report is being put together. As written Engineer Olusegun Adewoye, a licensed civil engineer, Chief Civil Engineer for National Center for Technology Management, an agency of the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. Additional materials obtained from Oyo Legacies. Materials provided by Dr. Owoade. This is packaged by KB Georgia International Consulting and voiced over by Prince Lashley Oladigolu of KB Georgia International Consulting Limited. Thanks for watching.
Kí l'Ọ̀yọ́? Ẹyẹ ni àbí èèyàn? Èdè tó sọ àìlóǹkà èèyàn pọ̀ ni àbí àṣà tó ṣàmọ́dá láàrin ọmọ adarí kan? Ṣé ilẹ̀ l'Ọ̀yọ́? Èyí tó ṣàn láti jẹ́ bàwúdò àṣejìrẹ́ àbí tó ṣàn wọ Tógò tó fi da Yorùbá gúnlẹ̀ létí omi? Ta l'Ọ̀yọ́? Ṣé Aláàfin ni, eégún ṣóńṣó tí parí ike, àbí gbogbo ọmọ rẹ̀ tí ń bẹ l'Ọ̀yọ́? Ṣáwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ tó wà l'Ọ̀yọ́ Àtìbà ni, tàwọn Ọ̀yọ́ Ìgbòho ni, àbí Ọ̀yọ́ Ọ̀rọ̀? Ṣóun kan ṣoṣo l'Ọ̀yọ́ àbí gbogbo nǹkan? Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́, ẹ wá wọ̀yọ́ lóde. Kí l'Ọ̀yọ́? Ẹyẹ ni àbí èèyàn? Èdè tó sọ àìlóǹkà èèyàn pọ̀ ni àbí àṣà tó ṣàmọ́dá láàrin ọmọ adarí kan? Ṣé ilẹ̀ l'Ọ̀yọ́? Èyí tó ṣàn láti jẹ́ bàwúdò àṣejìrẹ́ àbí tó ṣàn wọ Tógò tó fi da Yorùbá gúnlẹ̀ létí omi? Ta l'Ọ̀yọ́? Ṣé Aláàfin ni, eégún ṣóńṣó tí parí ike, àbí gbogbo ọmọ rẹ̀ tí ń bẹ l'Ọ̀yọ́? Ṣáwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ tó wà l'Ọ̀yọ́ Àtìbà ni, tàwọn Ọ̀yọ́ Ìgbòho ni, àbí Ọ̀yọ́ Ọ̀rọ̀? Ṣóun kan ṣoṣo l'Ọ̀yọ́ àbí gbogbo nǹkan? Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́, ẹ wá wọ̀yọ́ lóde.
Kábíyèsí òrìṣà bọ́ àdúrà wa. Ṣàngó olùdájọ́ fìlà rẹ̀ bá ó ta lójú. Mo jó fún ọ, mo ké fún ọ, kábíyèsí. Ẹlẹ́rù ẹni tí ń dá tẹ̀lé wọ́. Kábíyèsí òrìṣà bọ́ àdúrà wa. Ṣàngó olùdájọ́
Perhaps we're looking for one of a kind, the cultural exhibitions around the world, all traveled and places. Stay tuned to my channel, KB Jojo Newsbox, where I intend to give you every vital information, updates, interesting places, places of interest, tourism, and about people, culture around the world. Stay tuned on this channel. We promise to give you more. It's Thank you.
And if the fates should bless us with a moment of reprieve, we all could stand together in the silence and just breathe. Rejoice for all the happiness, mourn for all the grief. It's all that I